Hey there. Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to a very big episode of CS News. A lot of great stories for all of you. All those stories will be time marked down below. So if you guys have any interest in a particular story, look down below the description and click on that time marker. So I'm not going to bore you guys with our first big story today though. Just announced this morning is Navi's coach Starex has stepped down from the role, although he will be still part of the Navi organization for the time being. For the past 2.5 years, he's been their coach, he's been on the organization staff, and he has now stepped down from that role. He'll be replaced by their analytics guy, Andy. He'll be their stand-in coach from now on. And we have a lot of people coming out. We also had Gambit Zeus come out and say, a lot of big stuff happening, which had a lot of people questioning where Starex could go in the future. Now, I can tell you guys, as of right now, we have no idea where Starex will go or what he'll be doing. According to Joe Cardali, I'll link his Twitter down below, a great leaker and a great guy. He actually has his own podcast as well. I'll link that down below for all of you guys. He actually tweeted out about this. VK.com as well as HLTV confirmed that Starex both wants to be a player. He'll also be fielding offers as a coach. So as of right now, at this point in time, guys, Starex, we do not know what his future will entail, where he'll be playing or what he'll be doing. He wants to be a player. He also will field offers to be a coach, and even by chance, he actually wants to start his own team from scratch. So all three of those are potential offers and options for him in the future. So at this point in time, we don't know what exactly he'll be choosing. As of right now, though, he'll be sticking with Navi organization as just a part of their member. He'll be contracted out, and not really sure what he'll be doing for Navi organization right now. So not really sure as well as what Gambit's trying to do here, because Zeus trying to just stir up emotions here. We have plenty of players who think, oh, Zeus and Starex, maybe Starex will go coach Gambit, maybe Zeus will return to Navi. No one knows at this point in time. I don't think it's very logical that Starex would join Gambit's roster or vice versa. We'll have to see in the future what happens there, but that was a big change. Navi's coach, now gone. And also pretty exciting for all you Penta fans out there, another new roster, I swear, between Penta Gaming and ENCE Esports. We have so many roster changes. Officially though, for 2017, this will be their 5-man roster on screen for all of you guys. It does include former alternate attacks player Crystal. We also have Sunny coming from one of those ENCE dropouts. Many of the ENCE changes coming in 2016. Sunny is one of their players. He'll be now on the new Penta roster alongside Headshot. Had a story about him early on. He actually played for Team Rogue in late 2016 and one of the youngest players on this team at age 20. We also have Innocent being their 4th member here, guys. Now this Innocent, guys, is one of those breakout players who I could see in the future maybe breaking out, one of the older guys in the roster, but still he played with Dobry and Gaming and Kingwin all the way through past summer, even when they were part of that team when they actually beat Navi. I think it was a 2-0 sweep over there. I was actually at work in a cubicle when I saw this team, Dobry and Gaming, beat Navi. He was a part of that former roster. He'll be their 4th man, and they'll be closed out by their 5th member Zen, guys, actually a former iGame player. He actually played in WESG as well as I think it was the World Cyber Arena, and played really well. He's one of their top fraggers and one of their powerful fraggers there as well. So really good iGame player, Zen, a Finnish player there. He'll be their 5-man roster closeout, and that'll be the new Penta roster for 2017, and really big news there. And the scene that gets me really excited, guys, the Chinese scene. I know I've talked about this a lot the past few weeks, and especially the past month, the whole Tyloo situation. We do have a new Chinese powerhouse team coming sometime soon. Again, Decay's Twitter will be linked down below. He did a great job apparently about this, because the new Chinese powerhouse team will be the organization Flash Gaming. Now, if you look them up on Google right now, there is almost nothing about Flash Gaming out there, but according to Decay, this will be the new team name, taking on the new Chinese CSGO powerhouse team. They're actually going to be playing, one of their 3-man roster players will be their former Tyloo coach Karsa, as well as Fancy One. I couldn't go on and on about those two players. Obviously, 2 of your top Chinese either coaches and players in Karsa and Fancy One, they were kicked from Tyloo because they were part of the whole scandal where they tried to conspire contracts from other Chinese CSGO teams. Now, more on that story. We also had 2 other players involved from Tyloo about that. That was Attacker and somebody, and they were re-signed to Tyloo, while Karsa and Fancy were kicked off the team. Now they'll be joined though by another player, a player from Vici Gaming, that is Lovey. That'll be the 3-man core roster for this Flash Gaming roster going forward. What I want to say about Lovey, he's actually one of those good players. VG CyberZen actually did a split a couple weeks ago where they became VG CyberZen and Vici Gaming. Lovey was on that VG Gaming roster, and he's now coming over to this new Flash Gaming roster. So as of right now, they have those 3 core players. Apparently going to be announcing their next 2 players very, very soon. The new Chinese power team allegedly coming very soon in Flash Gaming, so it's going to be cool to see how they do and who they also pick up for their 4th and 5th members. And for all you Operation Hunters out there, we had FMPone release some, I guess, anticlimactic information on his Twitter a couple days ago. Again, I'll link his Twitter down below for all of you as well. He released this. Many of you guys know he's been working on Map Santorini and updates for that for some time now, and he said soon on it. So people thought, oh my gosh, Santorini's coming out sometime soon. That means the next operation should be very soon too. People got very led on, but apparently not, because he also replied replied when asked about his more desired map, Sub-Zero, coming out soon. He said less soon. So as of right now, we seem to have a much bigger wait than we actually anticipated for the next operation. So please keep it down, guys. Apparently next operation for CSGO is still having a somewhat of a wait ahead of us. So FM Pwn, his Twitter's down below as well. It still looks like a great map. Sub-Zero and Santorini are going to be fun maps to play. Santorini is live out there as well for all of you guys who follow FM Pwn, but still going to be fun to see what happens in the future. And the next CSGO operation is still delayed. And I always find it funny when one pro or one CSGO pro player does something, they call someone out, everyone else kind of joins in and follows suit. We also had North American pro player Nitro from Liquid call out some teams for actually canceling on practices. You know, they would go and cancel practices and still play in Rank S. And following suit with this, we had European pro players, Config and Mattisboy, actually come out on Twitter. Config said, oh, you know, this team canceled practice on us. Well, we had Mattisboy come out and just say it was Space Soldiers who apparently had canceled practice with them. It must be a more prevalent problem than we think here, guys, which could result in some punishment in the future. Now, obviously, some teams out there give more formidable warning than other teams do, but apparently Space Soldiers did cancel practice on Team North, and Mattisboy was very upset about that. A little kind of shuffle came out as well. He said it was okay that he called them out. He deserved it. Apparently not giving them enough warning time. So apparently, as of right now, a lot of pro teams out there canceling practices, and that was in some drama. But yeah, that's about it. And I briefly want to talk about Optic, but I don't like talking about North American CSGO, especially Optic being my favorite team, because I can rant on about them forever. But Hiko will officially, according to Decay, I'll link his Twitter down below for all of you guys as well. Decay, a great reporter, has been great for the past several months. According to him, and not very, surprising here, Hiko will not be staying on the Optic roster. They played with him for a couple weeks, couple tournaments as well, and did not even manage to get a group stage with Hiko on their roster. Now, again, they weren't really sure what their IGL situation was going to be. Hiko was not their IGL. It was actually Nafly and Mixwell, according to the team themselves in Optic Nation videos. It was both Nafly and Mixwell bouncing back and forth between IGL. Obviously not working out very well at IEM Katowice. They went 0-5. Again, with Peacemaker still on their roster as their coach, it seems like Hiko will not be the permanent future for the team, as maybe they're going to inquire on new players, but Hiko will not be a part of Optic in the future, and definitely not IGLing for them as well. But as of right now, Peacemaker is still on their roster. We'll have to see for current ESL Pro League matches what happens in the future, and our next big tournament's coming up sometime soon. Also to mention though, and worth mentioning, last night, Optic did go 0-2 to NRG last night. They did not have Hiko. They actually had Peacemaker play in spite of him. And unfortunately enough, guys, also leading off this for NRG news, for just North American strict news, they lost both those matches 16-12, 16-9 to Team NRG. With Peacemaker, of course, he seems like he really fell off the wagon there. He did not play any good CSGO at all last night. He did struggle, but even though, despite that, guys, don't put too much weight on that and the fact they didn't have Hiko, they had their coach playing who hadn't played in a long time, because Team NRG, who had announced their new coach, Professor Chaos, also had their coach, Professor Chaos, actually playing as their 5th member last night, and those are still brutal losses for Optic Gaming, and NRG looking pretty good in ESL Pro League. Optic looking the exact reverse of that. Also worth mentioning as well, though, of course, we had Peacemaker obviously not playing CSGO these past few months. Professor Chaos, quite the opposite. He played for Splice Gaming, then coached them, and also played for Muffin Lightning before they disbanded, so obviously a more fresh playing coach there, but still, Optic's losses NRG. Continued struggles here for Optic. Who will IGL for them in the future? It seems that's what they're going to look for, because going off an Optic Nation video that I just watched last night, Mixwell and the whole team seem to think that the IGL will fix their team, obviously losing Stanislaw. So big problems here. Hiko is on Optic, and again, sorry for the rant, guys, but big problems are coming for NICSGO, and a shuffle should be imminent. I guess this is smaller news for all of you. We also announced IEM Sydney. Now, we announced it just before it actually happened. People thought it was going to be a smaller LAN event. It will be an IEM event as well for ESL. Going to be cool to see how that happens and how that actually plays out, because as many of you guys know, Australia is not the most convenient spot for, well, anyone but Australians. Even Australians are going to have a tough time going there. I looked up flights and tickets for myself. $2,000 and about a 24-hour flight. Probably not going to happen for me, but it will be in Sydney there, guys, so it's going to be cool to see the response if IEM Sydney does go well, if Australia will land more events. Now, if only Midwest USA could have more events, but also announced they're going to have a best-of-5 final there at IEM Sydney. Going to be cool to see. Now, I think we have more tournaments kind of trying to lean towards this best-of-5 final. I'm not really sure about it myself, but it is nice to have finals on one day and semis on the other day, and best-of-5 finals definitely secure that, because in a best-of-5 final going 5 maps long, which many of them probably will in the future, that's at least 7 hours of CSGO, and obviously can't have semis and finals on the same day or there. So if that's going to secure finals and semis on different days, that's going to be a nice thing for these teams to play, and obviously will determine the best team in that final event who wins a best of 5. So it's going to be cool to see how IEM goes with the response here for Australia, and we'll see if the response is good enough to have more events there in the future. As always, guys, hope you all enjoy this episode of CSGO News. Now for some important updates for all of you about the future of the channel this next week or so. My Brig break now officially starts tonight. At the point of you guys watch this video, I should be live streaming some CSGO content, viewer matches, giveaways for all of you who are watching. Now on top of that, my next week is all off. I'm going back home to spend time with family and that kind of stuff. I have pre-recorded videos, 2 of which are trade-up videos, and I should be able to make 1 news video as well, and possibly 1 interview with DeBears. He's the former CLG Red female coach and now wants to go pro in CSGO. Those are 4 videos you guys can expect. So one more time, 2 trade-up videos, which are actually really fun videos to make. For if you guys like those, please smash those videos when they do come out sometime soon, as well as a potential interview, and then 1 CSGO news episode. Until I get back, there won't be much CSGO news that I can actually update you guys on within good time. So that's it for this episode of CSGO News. Hope you guys all enjoy your next week. This is my week off, and unfortunately enough, I won't be here. I'll be home, so I can't stream or make too much content. But as always, live, love, laugh a lot. Remember, I like you. I will see you guys all next time. Remember, I like you. Goodbye, guys.